and I'll catch up with you in a little bit, okay? Well, hello and welcome. Milo and I are in the ferry lineup waiting to go to Denman Island. I was here about a month ago and had a quick overnight and said then I was anxious to come back again. I'm out here hopefully for 2 nights, and my goal is that after 2 nights in a row, Milo will feel more comfortable with the whole process. But we're not off to a stellar start, are we? Okay, I'm at the campsite, and we're right on the ocean here, and there's a really significant wind coming up the strait. The campsite that I've reserved is getting a lot of wind as well as driving the rain. So it's not an ideal spot for us to set up. There's some other sites available, and so I've picked one that's a little more sheltered. This one seems much drier. And so I'm just sitting here now in the car, hoping that maybe if I wait for a little while, the present shower might pass over us, and and we'll see what happens. But at some point I have to get out of here, and I didn't anticipate it to be blowing and raining quite this hard. So anyway, that's okay. That's how it is. Okay, there's a break in the weather. Well, there's a break in the rain. Still really windy, and I'm going to try and get this tent up. So I'm not going to do a lot of filming of it because I just got to get at it, and I'll catch up with you in a little bit, okay? Bear with me. Okay, I got the tent up. Have a look. All right, it's not perfect, but it's up. It's pretty good. And I put on a couple of ropes on the wind side, and just to give it a little bit of extra. Now I'm going to see if I can bring Milo's bed in. Not that he'll want to come in, but he'll have the option. And I'm going to put together the stove. I'm going to get the work done. Well, it's not too bad. Anyway, we'll see what happens. I've got the tent up. That's actually now, that's the most important thing to me, is the shelter's there, and we can get in it if we need to. Okay, I'm in. Milo is not interested in coming in right now, and it's not really raining, so he seems happy. He's on a rope, and he's just sniffing all around the campsite here. So I'm going to work on this stove, and I hope that we can just stay reasonably warm and comfortable. It's not really cold. It's certainly not what you would call a warm spring day. But anyway, it is what it is. I think I say that quite often. This is what happens when you go camping. You just take what you get. So I'll go ahead and start on this next part, and then we'll be able to gradually get all of the bedding and everything in. But there's no rush about that. Okay, I've got the stove set up. I feel like I can relax now. I've got it tied out, guyed out on the chimney really well in 3 good spots, and I'll just have to keep an eye on that. Okay, I've got Milo's bed in. He's inside bed, and I've just blown up my mat, my air mat. It's an insulated 4.2 approximately for insulation, and from my top I have my top quilt, which I really love. So that's going to be the bedroom. So I'm just about finished setting up. I have a little table, a Helinox table, and a ground chair, Helinox chair. I still have, I haven't brought any food out or anything. I'm just going to leave that in the car. I've taken Milo for a little walk, and we're just going to lie low, and the forecast looks like it's going to let up a bit in maybe a couple of hours. So I'm just going to hang out here with the dog and And then hopefully we're going to get out for a walk and we'll see around the campsite in a little while. Well, I think it's time for a little bit of a fire. Not a big one, but just a little bit. It's kind of chilly. So, yeah, I'm just going to make myself a drink, and Milo's gone back outside. I think it stopped raining, but the wind's still blowing. So it's improving, little by little. Well, I've got a cup of tea, and I've just fed the dog. He's pretty happy. He's outside now. It's not raining, but that wind is not letting up yet. So I guess we're just going to lay low here and get out for a little walk, maybe after dinner tonight. I had a great dinner planned, but it's going to be real simple tonight. And I think it's going to be a hot dog. I think I'll do it on the bush box twig stove on the grill and call that done. Or if this wind still keeps up, it might be just done in the frying pan on the stove. We'll see what happens. Gotta roll with the punches. It's pretty basic, but it's really good. Well, after a whole afternoon of being stuck inside the tent, the wind hasn't quite gone down, but it's gone down considerably, and the rain has stopped finally. So Milo and I are out for a walk to enjoy this beautiful beach. You can hear the gulls in the background. I think they're happy too. Well, what a terrific evening walk that was. I think Milo really enjoyed it, and I sure did. We timed it just perfectly. And it's starting to rain again. I'm hoping that Milo will be happy to sleep inside the inner tent tonight a little bit more than he was the last time. He seems calmer. He's had a really good walk, and he's just lying here beside me now, quite relaxed. So things are looking hopeful. So I think I'll say good night for now, unless something really interesting happens in the next hour and a half. I'm going to be going to bed. They'll be turning the generators off pretty soon, and we'll see what tomorrow brings. I'm crossing my fingers that it's going to be a really good day. Maybe we're going to get out for a couple of hikes, or at least one, and see a little bit of the area around here on Denman Island, which we did not get to do the last time we were here. So good night, and I'll see you in the morning. Good morning. Wow, what can I say about that night? Milo was certainly not settled, but anyway, I'm not sure how much sleep actually happened on my part or his, but I would say we slept reasonably well between about 4:30 and 7:30. So anyway, I'm not sure how this day is going to pan out, but I'm waiting for the water to boil, and I'm going to make coffee, have some breakfast, and reassess how to proceed for the rest of this camping trip. I've worked up an appetite being awake most of the night, so I'm pretty hungry, and you always make better decisions after a cup of coffee and a good breakfast. Well, I've had a great breakfast and I'm feeling a little bit better, a bit more rejuvenated, and the sun's out. Let's get off the beach for a bit and we'll go up one of these trails that's marked. This is a creekside trail, so let's follow that and see where we end up. I've never been up here before. It's always fun to go somewhere different. I would say that this is a classic example of a temperate rainforest. That's beautiful. It's my understanding that this part of Denman Island belonged to this Beadnell family, and it was a homestead. It was a farming homestead. Oh my goodness. This is obviously some of the field areas and probably where the house was located at some point. And this must be the remains of the garden with right now hundreds and hundreds of primulas. Beautiful. I bet it was a gorgeous place. Well, we've gone full circle. That was great. So I'm gonna head back up to the tent, and I think it'll be time to make a cup of tea. What do you think? I have the makings to make a chai latte. Somehow that sounds pretty appealing. Let's go give it a go. Oh, that is so good. It just hits the spot. Well, it's time to relax again. Today I'm doing something different for dinner. I have roasted meat in my billy can oven before, but today I'm going to do a whole guinea fowl. It's actually the only bird I could think of that would be small enough to fit in my small 14 centimeter billy can oven. Here it is. I've got it all prepared, and I've got some seasoning on it and some olive oil. And right now I am just preparing the briquettes. So now I'm just going to let the oven preheat, and after about 10 minutes or so, the rocks will be nice and hot. And I'm going to top it off with some Parmesan grated that I grated at home before I came. Well, it's done. It looks really good. So I've just wrapped those vegetables in foil, and I've just popped them into the little billy can oven. And I'm going to wrap this up in the foil, keep it warm while the veggies cook, and dinner should be ready in about 20 minutes, I hope. Well, dinner looks like it's cooked, and I'm hungry, so I'm going to get right to it. Okay, well, I'm ready to dig into this. So we've got the Cornish game hand, some roasted vegetables, and some homemade grape jelly. So here's to it. That was a really great dinner. So I'm just going to sit here beside the fire for a little while and have a hot decaf drink. And then I'm going to take Milo out for his last walk. A wonderful day today. It was supposed to be rainy, but we have had only a few drips, and it's been a pretty nice day for one that was forecast to not be so good. Well, what a beautiful, calm evening. So we're just going to walk up the beach, so if you'd like to come along and join us, it's just going to be a nice, quiet walk by the ocean. Good morning. Well, we had a really good night with Milo last night. So maybe third time lucky. So this was his third night in a tent, second in a row for this trip. And oh, it made a really big difference. And I'm so glad I stuck it out yesterday and gave it another go. Victory, a victory in the tent with Milo. So I've just made myself a nice hot cup of coffee, and I've got the little fire going in the tent. It's quite windy, but the sun is out between the clouds. So that's an auspicious start to the day. Hopefully I can get packed up here. Overall, this has been a really nice camping trip, and I've very much enjoyed this park. It's a beautiful little spot, and I'll probably not come back here again until maybe next winter when the busier season is finished here. It's a little bit cramped in space between campsites, and I prefer an emptier campsite if we're going to be all that close to one another. But the beach is beautiful, the trails are lovely. Denman Island's a beautiful, quiet place to visit, and I'm sure to live. So overall, it's been successful, and I actually got a bit of sleep last night. Well, as you can possibly hear, it's generator time in the campsite. Not exactly my favorite sound, but I've got this wonderful bacon and egg sandwich, and I'm just going to eat that up. The clouds are moving in, and with some degree of speed here, so I've got to get the dog out for a walk and start packing up. So I better get at it before I get rained on. I'm not sure if I'll make it or not, but I'll give it my best shot. So here we go. I hit the spot. Okay. Well, I've had that great breakfast, and now I've started to pack. I'm afraid the tent takedown is going to go much the way that the putting up of the tent and the camp went, just because I've got to get a ferry, and I don't want the boat to be canceled because of the wind. I think I'm going to call an end to the video now. I've got Milo in the car. He's grateful to be there. I'm grateful that you came along with me and struggled through yet another Milo video. But yes, this one was an improvement. I'm very optimistic about the future, and I know it's one step at a time, and there's setbacks along the way, but we did get through the night, and I had a marvelous time. Yesterday was a beautiful day. It was not forecast to be so good, and a very enjoyable time. So thank you very much for coming, and I say I'm going to close off now until the next time, until the next adventure. Take care, enjoy the moment, and live life fully. Bye for now.